And welcome to Marquette Stadium in Yakima for the 2026 Washington State Adult Soccer Association Super Cup Final between Yakima United and Wenatchee All-Stars FC. Thanks for joining us here on the NORPAC Sports Network. I'm Eric Parnell, joined alongside Tim Bush and Jacob Gepner. We'll start with you, Tim. What are you expecting from the match today?
I'm expecting a lot of competition.
And Jacob, what are going to be your things that you're looking for?
Well, the first thing you want to look for every single time is who's going to dominate possession. Possession's going to give you more chances.
Merrick, there's one other thing I think we'll be looking for today. Only one team has ever won 2 Super Cup titles, and Yakima has that opportunity today to do that. So that'll be something to look for.
Yeah, Yakima coming off of their win last year, they had a fantastic victory, and looking to repeat this year. These teams, they're going to go at each other quite a bit, and it's going to be an exciting matchup.
Yeah, what's interesting about Yakima United FC, guys, is they have a chance to be double champions, both in the Super Cup action and in EPLWA. Of course, they're defending EPLWA champions. They took down Spokane, the Surf, out of Meade. The game was in Union Stadium, and it was a very tightly defensive fought contest, so we'll see what team comes out to play. Both teams coming off games yesterday, so you wonder if some heavy legs will come and play. Both of them played during the regular season in their fixtures for the EPLWA. Right now in EPLWA, Yakima 5-1, Wenatchee 1-6, but you can kind of throw those records out, Tim, when you come to Super Cup play.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's an opportunity for this winner potentially to move along to a national tournament. And I wanted to mention that one of the other major things the Adult Association, the WSASA, did is the Super Cup is now known as the James D. Hamilton Memorial Super Cup. Jim was one of my best friends for more than 50 years, and he passed away on Easter of this year, was a national treasure. And so all of the leagues in the state of Washington wanted to honor his memory through this competition.
What a great testament, too, for someone that loved the game like James did, to have a showcase here. And I'm sure he's looking down, watching some excellent soccer that's about to kick off. We're going to take a quick break. When we come right back, we'll preview today's match some more, and we'll rejoin you for the opening kickoff. And welcome back here to Marquette Stadium. Before we get underway, let's talk about a few of our sponsors. Our presenting sponsor is the Washington State Adult Soccer Association. The Washington State Adult Soccer Association in Washington has played for more than 90 years. Whether you're looking for a place to play, a league, or a tournament, WSASA can help you. Learn more at WSASA.org. And they're also the sponsor of today's Player of the Match. So stay tuned on our socials and post-game as well. The Evergreen Premier League is another sponsor of today's match. The EPLWA is Washington's statewide soccer league featuring top-level players from across the state from east to west, north and south. Evergreen Premier League offers ball and uniform benefits to its members through partnerships with ProTime Sports and Voight. Visit evergreenpremierleague.com, and today's play of the match is sponsored by the Evergreen Premier League. Find out more during our post-game show. The Whistle, the Western Indoor Soccer League, is home to Washington's top amateur indoor soccer players and has helped provide a professional pathway for more than 25 years. It helped goalkeeper for Yakima, Luis Burrieta, reach the pro ranks with the Tacoma Stars. Learn more at WISLsoccer.com. Today's coach interview is brought to you by The Whistle. And finally, Lower Valley Cards in Sunnyside is your destination for sports cards, collectibles, and memorabilia. Whether you're a longtime collector or just getting started, Lower Valley Cards is here to celebrate your passion and help you find your next great addition. Visit them in 1805 South 1st Street in Sunnyside or online at lowervalleycards.com. All right, we're just a moment away here for opening introductions. Again, both teams, guys, as I'm joined by Jacob Gepner, Tim Bush, have reached the final. And Tim, talk about kind of the road that both teams took to reach this final match.
The Super Cup is a tournament that's open for any club in the state of Washington who pays the fee and gets player cards through the state association. We started with 15 teams and from all over the state of Washington. From the west side, from central Washington, we had a team from Spokane. And so both of these clubs had big wins. Yakima knocked off Bellevue Athletic, which I believe is one of the top adult clubs in Washington from the UPSL. Been very, very, very good. And Wenatchee All-Stars beat the Bantu Rovers from Spokane. And so they've really earned their way to get here. This really means something to people.
And it's also an all-EPLWA final. Last year, we saw an interesting final with International FC, and they took on Rat City, which was kind of the upstarts. And no matter how you're doing in the regular season, just like Rat City proved, Tim, they're kind of bottom of the table. They ended up outlasting and making it to that final match. Jacob, you were on the call for that one, and talk about just how exciting a Super Cup final can be.
Well, Super Cup finals are interesting because it feels like a great comparison would be more like Washington's own Champions League kind of a feeling. It's a lot of different clubs in a lot of different leagues, and it takes away a lot of that what-if questions you might have. And it's exciting because we saw International last time go out and score within the first 3 minutes, and then the game got tied within the next 10, and it stayed close for quite a while. So you can have major sways in scoring and major difference of strategies out here, and it really takes the opportunity for these teams to show absolutely everything they have.
And we're going to throw it over to Ruben, one of the coaches with LaSalle and today's PA announcer here at historic Marquette Stadium.
Number 4, Leonel Gonzalez Sanchez. And number 5, Andres Martinez. Number 22, Alexander Moran Andrade. Number 25, Raul Mata. And number 11, Pierre Vega. Number 10, Carlos Veramontes. Number 16, Diego Saldivar. Number 24, Olario Orozco. Number 4, Luis Navarrete. Number 18, Edwin Lopez. Number 17, Jace Williams. Number 1, Alan Carro. And now for your Yakima United FC. Number 11, Diego Alvarado. Number 14, Gilbert Bautista. And number 0, your goalkeeper, Luis Virueta. Number 16, Jose Botello. Number 8, Juan Carlos Diaz Acevedo. Number 20, Daniel Farias. Number 9, Gonzalo Frusto, sorry. Number 17, Corbin Herrera. Number 12, Mario Jacob. Number 15, Diego Lopez. Number 17, Misael Lopez. Number 6, Alexander Magaña. Number 4, Jose Marquez. Number 19, Juan Diego Mendoza. Number 21, Ethan Rojas. Number 10, Isael Rojas. Number 2, Jackson Rotundo. Number 22, Dennis Lino Stevenson, sorry. And your Wenatchee is coached by Marco Gutierrez, assisted by Roman Sandoval, David Sanchez, and Ariel Estrada. Your Yakima United is coached by Hector Vega, Josh Vega, and assisted by Jerry Cole. And if we could please stand, remove your hats, and we'll play the national anthem.
And welcome back to Yakima as we approach the opening kickoff brought to you by the Western Indoor Soccer League. Learn more at wisl-soccer.com. And let's take a look at today's referee assignments brought to you by the Washington State Adult Soccer Association. See more at WSASA.org. The center ref is Andres Palomino. He's assisted by R.C. Hefner and Fernando Palomino. And the fourth official is Alex Copey. Tim, you are a former referee and I guess current referee as well. And special to have a fourth official, and it's just a testament to kind of the importance of today's fixture.
Absolutely. The fourth official typically operates between the two benches to help communicate what goes on, helps with the substitution. Everybody's been watching the World Cup for 3 weeks, and they kind of see the additional official for a big game is really important. And these are both good, well-maintained clubs, but it's probably 87 degrees outside and probably really helpful. It's really worth having the additional official here. And plus, if one of the other officials for some reason can't continue, have somebody that can step on to do the match.
All good points, especially since these teams both play out of the same league, the same division in EPLWA, and they're both Central Washington clubs, so a rivalry kind of brewing. We've seen Wenatchee All-Stars kind of emerge in different leagues. This is the first year in the EPLWA, and they were going to try and prove something against Yakima United again. Last year's EPLWA Cup champions, and then they have a chance to win another Super Cup, to be only the second team to win multiples. We're just moments away here from the opening kick.
Looks like Wenatchee is going to get it started here. They've got possession first.
And on the ball is Pierre Vega.
Nice to see the all blue kits for Wenatchee, the all whites for Yakima. Easy to distinguish between the two sides, especially in those scrums challenging for extra 50-50 balls.
Gotta love the contrast. And after the WISL opening kickoff, we are underway here from historic Marquette Stadium. The Wenatchee All-Stars will attack left to right here as both teams try and jockey for possession.
Yakima pressing in pretty early here.
Ball headed away towards center. Yakima trying to get the space that they're looking for. Good control along the top of the box. And it's picked off and headed the other way. Wenatchee couldn't counter, but a foul was called. Andres Palomino trying to manage the game early, and you like to see the early whistle, Tim, especially in a rivalry clash.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's trying to stake a claim, and so the referees reinforced that we'll settle down and play straight up as much as possible.
It's always helpful, too, just to know kind of where that boundary is with the official.
Absolutely.
Wenatchee taking their time. They'll play a long ball down the near side. Good chase put on. Early test towards net on challenging for Pirouetta, and it's played out. Looks like we could have our first corner of the match here.
Well, as we were mentioning, Tim and I last year did the Super Cup, and an early corner led to a first goal there. So definitely one of the exciting factors is the high ability to score.
Played in, headed through. Wenatchee wanting a foul. And it's going to get pulled the other way. Looks like the foul is going to go against the All-Star when they're the ones imploring for a call, and it's just going to be a free kick, business as usual.
These games tend to be a lot about momentum, and as you mentioned, you know, one play, one goal, early goal can really change the whole tempo of the game. And I think we're going to see some goals today from both clubs.
And so often we've seen how many times momentum shift is, especially in World Cup play, when a early goal's been put on and then a minute to 30 seconds later, much to the chagrin of the U.S. and then much to the chagrin of Norway, how quick was that counter?
Indeed.
So, always something to look out for. Is a free kick again is played after the foul. Jockeyed along. And a foul will be called.
Interesting free kick position here. It's not necessarily as close as you might prefer, but definitely still every free kick in this area, in this final third, is always a dangerous one.
It was Jackson Rotundo that was hacked at. And it looks like on the ball here is Juan Diego Mendoza. They'll try and sweep this one into the 18. Headed through and out of danger. Nicely defended, but Yakima trying to step to it. Referee's letting him play.
Well, you got to let a few things go in a rivalry game. If you just control the whole game with the whistle, it won't be 90 minutes. It'll be 126,000 or something. So
Marathon shot put on. A great diving save. That one pushed out towards the byline, but it's out for another corner. Our second of the match and first for Yakima. It's going to be a corner taken from the far end. Still scoreless here early. Ball played in, headed just over the crossbar, out of danger. Good crowd filing in, as you mentioned, Tim, in the pregame. And it's a community that has a very soccer-rich history. Of course, historic Marquette Stadium was the former home of the Yakima Reds and the U.S. Development League. They ran from 2004 to 2010, and then Yakima United restarted in 2014. It's one of the charter members of the EPLWA. Pruitt clears his line. Quickly stepped to by Diego Lopez. Good long ball. Reinforcements trying to catch up. Cross played through, and it's just going to be a goal kick. Oh, looks like a throw-in. It was hard to see with the flag here because the throw-in makes more sense out over the touch line to the far side.
Yeah, I think the referee was just looking at whether or not that was out before on that goal line there, or if the contact came before the ball fully crossed, and goes for the throw-in.
Long throw into the area. Headed through, and it's in. It's a throw-in that gets it done offensively for Yakima United. They've taken a 1-0 lead. And Jacob, talk about how that one developed.
Well, as you saw, the throw-in was on that close to the flag. It's essentially like an extra corner kick when you have a good, strong throwing player who can get those and essentially set up a set piece like any corner kick and set it perfectly for the header. And it's a quick, easy goal here. Nothing really the keeper could do there. It was just a good set piece goal.
And it looks like it was Misael Lopez getting it done here. Number 4 off the header. And that came just 12 minutes in. And Yakima's taken a 1-0 lead with another chance to add another. Juicy rebound left out on the doorstep, and it's finally cleared.
And that one's across the fence.
Of course, we got the Yakima Quality Hops bordering historic Marquette Stadium, home to the LaSalle Lightning during the school year. LaSalle, the Catholic school, actually in Union Gap, just east of us here. We got to experience from James Beard tamales earlier there from Hernandez. Again, trouble in the box and a foul against Yakima, and it will be Wenatchee ball back. Whistle comes at a convenient time.
Yeah, they look posed for a big strike right there.
Up towards the center. And contact made. That's going to draw the whistle. Again, both teams kind of testing the waters with physicality. Yakima Tim doing a good job of trying to create space from the back.
Very much so. One of the hallmarks is their ball handling. They move the ball very, very well.
You have a few players that are some of the original Yakima side. Of course, the oldest player on the roster, and talking with him in the pregame, is the keeper in Luis Beretta.
Yes.
The veteran, along with Diego Lopez. Diego just wrapping up his collegiate career at the powerhouse that is Western Washington. Taken away, shot put on, but a whistle.
The one thing that really stands out with the stadium today is how much effort the school has put into upgrading the grass, because it has been ruddy many times, and it's just beautiful today.
Yeah, again, it was the grounds for the Reds, 95 to 2010. Can seat 1,500. And it was originally the home stadium of Central Catholic High School. And they play football and soccer here for LaSalle. Long ball, but that's going to draw the offsides flag and put a stop to that attack.
Unfortunate, because that play looked like he was through. He just doesn't quite time the run enough, and good call by the line judge.
Loose ball. We'll see if Yakima can step to it quickly. They do so.
Yakima's pressure is winning these extra balls and keeping them in the offensive zone, and it's been successful so far. I wonder how that'll progress throughout the game. And a foul along that line, and it's going to be a throw.
While we wait for the throw, we'd like to remind you that the WSASA is today's game sponsor. The Washington State Adult Soccer Association has served adult soccer in Washington for more than 90 years. Whether you're looking for a place to play or a league tournament, the WSASA can help. Visit WSASA.org. They're also sponsoring today's Player of the Match, which we could have an early contender here with the goal scorer, guys.
Agreed.
Ball calmly played down. And switched. I like the containment from Wenatchee, and they almost won the challenge and headed in towards goal. Just took a bit of an aggressive angle, player down on the pitch. As that's Juan Carlos Diaz that's shaken up.
Yeah, he looks like he just went down a little too sideways after the challenge, and nothing malicious, but sometimes on these natural pitches, especially since both teams just played yesterday, sometimes that fatigue comes out of nowhere on you, so hopefully it's nothing too long-term.
Training staff out onto the field, and team official Hector Vega tending to the injured player.
So, Merrick, Tim, are you guys as crazy as me and so far seen all 80 games of the World Cup so far? Or?
Pretty close. Pretty close.
I'm severely lacking. That's quite the precedent, Jacob. Well done, both of you guys. Any matches that have stood out to you in World Cup play this far?
Oh. Now, I tell people that don't understand world football soccer that the World Cup is Christmas for 40 days.
Oh, yes.
And that's the best way I can explain it. I think Port Verde, there's always an underdog. There's always some story. This little country runs through, and they were fearless. Even though they didn't get beyond into the round of 16, they played. And I had friends all over the country saying, I just smiled all day long watching them play.
And you love to see kind of the trickle-down effect because everyone seems to get soccer fever. Whether you're a fan of a game or not, you kind of get caught up with it, and you'd like to think that some of that spilled over into the attendance today.
Indeed, and I would hope that, it also people that used to play the game when they were kids or in their early adulthood decide they want to come back out and try it again.
Yeah, we've seen players, especially in the Super Cup, on the older end, all the way from the high school age. Of course, several teams across these levels have players getting exposure at the high school level. A few of the players for Yakima have donned the red and white since then. United here trying to operate from the center. Good containment from the line of Wenatchee. Of course, Yakima quality hops into the distance, and Yakima actually grows 75% of the hops, which inspired their mascot, the Hoppers. And you've told me once, Tim, that they also influenced the naming of a popular beverage in town here.
I'm sure I may have heard that somewhere. No, actually, a local brewery in town actually does a Mexican lager to help support the team. And I'm actually trying to talk to one of the brewers in Skagit County to do the same thing where I live. So
it's great to see the community involved here. Ball switched down, a long ball just over the touchline. And we were talking about the World Cup, gentlemen, and I don't know if you're into soccer cards or not, but I like to get mine from Lower Valley Cards in Sunnyside. They're located at 1805 First Street in Sunnyside, and they're also a proud sponsoring partner for today's match. I'd like to thank the crew there, and it's not too far away east of us out of town to go to charming Sunnyside to pick up some cards. I know, Jacob, maybe Yamal card is in your feature.
Oh, I'm hoping, but we'll have to see. I'm still currently working on my Panini collection too. Hopefully, they got a couple packs I can pick up for this current World Cup too. Big thank you to my mother for undoing all the stickers for me, because I just want to rip the packs and I'll put them in the book.
Patience is a virtue, Jacob. I don't have any, so I can say that. I'm always working. Played over towards midfield. Here's Lopez. Lopez, a burst of speed, a great two-way player. And sent back around. Will they have a clearer look with the retreat? Batista, one of the anchors on this defensive line, along with Misael Lopez and Diego Lopez.
I was mentioning earlier how Yakima was really good at pressing the Wenatchee side, but they've also done a fantastic job of when the shoe's been on the other foot, they haven't given up anything to this Wenatchee side when they're trying to pressure. They're playing very good, smart football out the back and keeping control of this game.
You know, they've definitely controlled the time of possession, it seems. Wenatchee trying to change that, but it's a good defensive step to change the course just briefly. Played back. Yakima turned away. You got to admire the Wenatchee shape, too. They don't get too flustered. They're not too aggressive in diving in. Switch to the far side. Played back. Players looking to make a run. Right now, a very compact formation before swinging it back out. Good turn near the area. Shot put on blocked. It didn't get quite through. Good look by Lopez. And some action right in front of the goal there. Everyone seems to be okay.
Yeah, keeper just did a little hop, and the runner smartly laid off a little early, so no big collisions yet.
Two very experienced coaches on the touchline. Marco Gutierrez, the head coach for Wenatchee, has coached over 15 years, and he's been a 2-year coach with the All-Stars. He's had several higher-level tryouts in Mexico. Got to visit with the coach before the game. And, of course, Joshua Vega has become one of the premier coaches at an early age, Tim, for Yakima United.
Absolutely. And he coaches the women at Yakima Valley College in the fall. So, yeah, kind of in the blood, in the family. It's the game.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Father Hector Vega, the a.k.a. Profe, the professor of soccer here in the Valley. And a hard foul will lead to a promising free kick. Sent in towards net. And just away, they tried to time a header unsuccessfully. And it's going to fall and trickle out.
One of the things that Yakima United is really good about is playing ball control. And if you're playing defense, they just wear you out after a while. And it's going to be a close game. There's going to be more goals, but it's pretty impressive to watch.
They have the composure. They have the stamina. And so far, they've had the ability to finish here an early goal back in the 12th minute.
Real question is going to be, what are the substitutes going to do for the Wenatchee side? Will they be able to make an impact? Because we've mentioned how often the Yakima players can just wear you down.
Interesting. Yeah.
Switched in near side. Wenatchee thought they caught him off, and the line's cleared out of danger. Action up towards the Yakima bench. Some reserves seeming to get loose here with 25 to play. Throw-in, the last throw-in, guys, that we've seen from this area yielded a goal. on the far end of the field. Hucked in towards the 18, bouncing around, and cleared out.
Well, that one was set up the exact same way as how the goal was initially scored. Just the defense was expecting it this time and played a little bit tighter on the man mark.
Now 5 players up near the Yakima bench. We could see a crew change coming up, as Lopez will play it back towards the keeper. Long ball played down. Leaping header and offsides. Good work by Luke Fox to get vertical there. Great back for Wenatchee, has the height.
So, Tim, when is the registration deadline for maybe some other new clubs that might be wanting to join? Sounds like you'll even allow like USL2 teams and other to join to the Super Cup. So, what time does the tournament normally start?
We start the first of every calendar year because we have people playing in all kinds of different leagues. Some that are affiliated with the state, some with UPSL, some that are not affiliated at all. We'll be doing all of that registration probably in January, roll something out in probably a month or so before Christmas, just so people need to know. But we ended up probably could have had another 5 teams. This is a very popular thing, and every community we can see in our state, ethnic or whatever, want to come try out. So we'll be ready to roll on that next January. Sorry, you had to ask me a tough question.
It's been cool to see it grow and represent really Eastern, Central, and Western Washington here.
Yeah.
Semifinals, again, it came down to 2 teams, and that one's just put over the goal.
Wow, that was interesting on the spot from the side. Great throw-in.
And looks like we're going to have our hydration break of the half. We're going to step away for a quick break. We'll be right back with Super Cup action brought to you by the WSASA. And welcome back here just after the hydration break. Score is 1-0 Yakima United after a goal in the 12th minute. And that one was scored by Jose Marquez, who was a 2024 WSASA Male Player of the Year. Has been one of the original Yakima United FC stars. And Yakima's roster is represented by 10 different colleges and universities, not only just here in Central Washington, but also Spokane Falls, Washington State, Western Washington, Gonzaga, SBU, St. Martin's. Some big programs there in the GNAC. And two different player of the years. This one sent in towards the box. Kicked away. Wenatchee here trying to reload. All-Stars taking a bit of an aerial attack, Jacob.
Yeah, trying to see if they can stretch the field. They've not been perfect through the midfield, so I like trying a different tactic here through the air. And they got him in the final third, but they just couldn't find a way to keep it in there.
Since you mentioned the awards that the State Association gives out, I'll tell you a couple other folks that won awards for 2026. Joshua Vega was Coach of the Year with his work with Yakima United last year. And Teresa Vega was voted the Volunteer of the Year, who has been kind of, I don't want to insult her, but kind of the soccer mom for 25 years in the Valley, knows every player and takes care of people. So really proud. We try to honor people that volunteer and give their life to the game.
Absolutely. Both the staff, both the Vegas and the staff were here early. We were here close to 3 hours prior, and we ended up going to check out one of the golf courses up the road, but they were here busy getting everything ready, and just shows the dedication. A true mom and pop shop. It's really cool to see with son and parents being involved as well. And it looks like substitution's about to enter for United.
Number 9's going to be coming off.
As that's going to be Gonzalo Frosto that will take a seat. And of course here, not a lot of urgency to try and get off the pitch. Every minute becomes so crucial.
I don't know if you've been made aware of some of the FIFA changes that they're starting to implement about, you know, a player has 10 seconds to get off the pitch. If a goalkeeper goes down, and typically they feel like they've blown their stomach out or something, they have to get up, or a corner kick goes to the other team. So I think it's going to be real interesting.
Punched away off the rebound, right in front of the mouth of goal. Heads up play from Yakima. As putting it through is Isaiah Rojas to make it 2-0.
Real quick on that set piece, everyone was prepared for the throw-in, and this time they played it short, just whipped it in, and got him again on another header.
So Rojas joins Marquez on the scoreline. This one coming in the 30th minute. And Tim, you were talking about some of the changes too. Yeah, the goalkeeping, the time wasting is, unfortunately, we've seen it become a tactic, but an interesting way to kind of weed it out.
Well, I go back to the days as a player and a referee when a player, the goalkeeper could roll the ball out to a player and send it back as many times. And they discovered in most matches they were only getting about 35 minutes of play. So you want to move the game along.
Yeah, we've seen slow play and delay often be penalized with a yellow card, especially in the NCAA level. And everyone seems to have a different interpretation of how long a minute or a second is. If you're coaches or players here. Off the head, kept in control. How about that? Pushed up field. That's Jacobo. Jacobo checking for blood. He took that one right to the face. Ball knocked free.
Wenatchee tried to catch them off guard, took it a little too quickly. More substitutions coming on, however.
Here with 15 minutes to play, and Yakima trying to empty their bench. You want to keep everyone fresh, including the bench players, while your starters sit for a bit.
Especially in this heat, that's a good strategy. Not quite the touch he thought he had on that one, unfortunately, and that's an unfavorable turnover.
Right now in regular season play, Yakima has scored 17 goals while allowing 13 for a +4 goal diff. They're 5-1-1 over their last 10 and are coming off a 3-game match winning streak. Wenatchee, meanwhile, also in the Evergreen Premier League and still trying to find their step to compete. And it's hard to do, Tim, against some of the teams that have been kind of the originals in the league, and everyone kind of finds their footing.
Yeah, Wenatchee, the All-Stars were in the old CPL. They're under new management now and had some success there, but they hadn't fielded a team, an adult team, in a year or two. So they're really put in a lot of effort to try to bring a team back in. And you're right. We have lots of good teams with lots of good players. The Spokane clubs, Olympia's got a good club. So glad to have them back.
It's also cool to see kind of roles reverse, because wearing the captain's band for Wenatchee here is Lennon Guzman Sanchez. He's the head coach there. He's wearing the number 7 kit. He's the head coach for the Wenatchee Valley College side. And right now he's the coach on the field. Of course, Marco Gutierrez is the man in charge for the Stars on the touchline. That one played back.
Wenatchee's starting to look like they're figuring out the defense from Yakima a little bit. They're pressing further and further in and finding a little more success every time.
During regular season play, Wenatchee scoring almost 3 goals a contest. They're at that 2.5 mark. They're on pace for that today. Meanwhile, Wenatchee's trying to improve on their mark, just a 1.29 goals per average. And they're trying to get some momentum here. We've often seen where the Super Cup can kind of propel teams, Tim, in the rest of whatever their regular season in their respective leagues.
Absolutely.
Last year we had the interesting FC International, which is an independent kind of tournament team, take on Rat City.
Yeah, and International had some internal problems, but they're back playing again. And I know they'll come back next year.
Yakima last won the Super Cup back in 2024. Of course, FC International won last season. You can still watch that game on the NORPAC Sports Network. Washington Premier won it twice, and Ole Town in 2022. And, of course, Nido CAS were the first ever Super Cup champs.
Yep.
And Tim, where did kind of the idea come from? We've talked about it a few times as a corners upcoming for Yakima, but the idea for the Great Super Cup tournament.
It's pretty simple. You think about the FA Cup in the UK, where any team, pro or amateur, can go and play. And, you know, people get loyalty to leagues, they pay fees to leagues, and the whole thought was give everybody a chance to play and give them equal ground to play on. Everybody pays the same fee to come into the tournament, and everybody has the same player card. Simple as that. Nobody pays any extra money. And the other part is that the home teams pay for the fields and the referees when they host. So they do a lot to make this tournament. Hats off to the clubs.
One played back in through the 18, but quickly thwarted. Pressure again stepping. Played out. It's going to be a Wenatchee throw, and hats off to the WSASA, the governing body, and today's match sponsor. Check them out at WSASA.org, and they're always looking for new teams, players, and tournaments as that spot is pulled back on the throw. And the WSASA is going to be the sponsor of today's Player of the Match. And offsides by a mile. In festive atmosphere here at Marquette. Have the concessions being run by the LaSalle High School soccer team.
Really is a good community event here. They were handing out soccer balls as well at the opening gate.
Nice.
Now, Tim, your drawstring packs were a hit last year, the WSASA ones.
Yep, indeed. Well, the other thing about the fans, I saw a couple of veterano clubs, the older players, who had their match, who didn't want to miss this one, that showed up a little bit late.
Very nice. And of course, you love it in communities like Wenatchee, Yakima, where we don't have to compete with the Mariners or any other Sounders as well. So this is as big as it gets and provides some great summer and spring entertainment. Of course, there's some collegiate summer league baseball, but if you're a soccer fanatic, no better place to be, and affordable. The Vegas do a great job. Every team tries to make a big game day atmosphere, and it's really cool to see how each one does it. Of course, last year's final was held at a neutral ground at Skagit Valley College, so it's been cool to see it play out on a home side. Good ball played forward, burst of speed for Yakima. Side switched, it's going to hang him back up in the air and nicely poked away. Does have a Ronde that got to it, and it's going to be a throw here. Back over to Fox. Mata will try and get things going before playing it back over to the line.
Since you mentioned, the local community, I do a lot of work on adult soccer with U.S. Soccer, and their goal, and they're going to put some money towards it going forward, is they want every community to have an adult team that people can go out and watch. Adult amateur soccer is really important. No one gets paid to do this, and the volunteers put in their own time and money. It's wonderful stuff.
It is very cool. True grassroots action here. Of course, one of our sponsors, the Evergreen Premier League, is a large grassroots league, and their Washington statewide soccer league featuring top-level players from across Washington. Visit evergreenpremierleague.com, and they also are sponsoring today's Play of the Match. And we may have a tough decision here for both player and play. Of course, the Player of the Match brought to you by the WSASA. We're going to have a busy post game, I think, guys.
I think so, too.
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in thus far.
Starting to see a little bit of that chippiness come in some of these fouls recently, and a little bit of pushing and shoving, and that's when we start to see the rivalries really start to shine.
Ball played down to the far end. Back up top. Pressured tightly. Here's Fox. Fox impeded. And the second attack will do it. And that's going to warrant another free kick here with 5:50 to play in just the opening half. Ball out and throwing and coming.
Thing about these grassroots pitches, you really got to go run after that ball to bring it all the way back.
There's not a ball kid every few yards. You mentioned, Tim, the work that they've done on the stadium. Brand new scoreboard. They've updated the railings here and repainted, and We're in a very charming and historic press box here, which just even having a press box is a real treat at this level.
There's nothing like watching a match from a press box. It unfolds like the way the coach does it on a board, right? The players moving and all the rest.
Can see
Plus, it's cooler.
out of the sun, luckily. Could be danger, and it's kicked out of play. There's Diego Alvarado giving chase here.
Another player that's played in the WISL.
And of course, the WISL is today's coach interview with our winning coach.
I'll tell you, there's nothing like watching whistle games. The speed of indoor soccer is phenomenal.
Yeah, football rapido, and it's very true. Can't wait for fall season to come along. And it's been cool to see how well attended all the matches are, and several sides that compete in the Super Cup also field whistle teams.
Bellingham United, one of them.
Yep.
Winners of the whistle this year, actually.
Yeah, United also another side with a lot of college players, both from Wacom and Western historically. And right now they're sitting around second in the table for the EPLWA, so it could very much be a Yakima Bellingham United final.
We've had a few of them.
Yeah, Bellingham's been quite the rival for Tacoma in the finals in the whistle here, and it seems like, yeah, we've seen a current or a frequent flyer in BUFC in the EPLWA final. And they made it fairly far this year in the Super Cup.
Yeah.
Here's Wenatchee from the back. Contested. Technical move to win that one away and play it wide. I'd love to see the footwork put on here in tight quarters. And that one's intercepted. Wenatchee patient here with just 2 minutes to play. You think, guys, that they would like to try and ratchet up the urgency.
Well, Wenatchee, while they are trying to figure it out on how can they get into that final third, how can they get these chances to score, they haven't really been able to do so yet, and they're kind of just sitting back, studying, keeping possession, figuring out what adjustments they got to make at the halftime, which could turn this game on its head.
Stars now promising chance put on, and Bruetta gets there. Clock stopped with 2 minutes to play for referee's time. And heaved up towards Fox, who has to backpedal and shield it back to the keeper. Back in towards the 18, cleated down. And switched back. I think Yakima right now trying to let time expire and go into the dressing room with the 2-0 lead. And with the 2-0 lead, Tim, you can kind of play that way.
Yeah. You can. I think both sides want to get to do the second hydration break here. So
yeah, the breaks and hydration breaks, so key. We've seen that a few times in the World Cup where the hydration breaks become like technical huddles as well, where a lot of strategy gets played out. We see kind of teams come out with a completely different identity after.
yeah, there's a coaching opportunity, and it also allows a world governing body to sell more commercials, but that's just me.
I've been watching on Telemundo. What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately. So
I didn't say I could.
Some of the best soccer broadcasting in the world.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
And of course, today's hydration break saw a second goal just 7 minutes after, with Rojas putting it through. Both teams, especially Yakima, imploring how much time is left on the referee's watch. Floats away. Wenatchee, an opportunity. Far cross through the box. Yakima wanting offsides. Play continues. And it comes up with an easy save along the ground for Bruetta. And it's going to be a yellow card shown here. And that was a quick yellow, and it looked like it could be one for dissent. It happened off the ball. And cards, guys, especially Tim, with your referee experience, it's just another way to manage competition.
Yeah. It's basically knock it off. The kind way of saying that.
Everyone needs to hear that sometimes.
Yeah. At least that's what my mother used to tell me.
Yeah, and sometimes no warnings, just like we've seen the straight red a few times. Yakima here trying to just delay things until the half. I think both teams would like to take advantage of a break in shade, especially. Can Yakima notch one more? Here's United into the 18. Hoppers are back to play the second touch. And they'll try and attack along the wing. Punted back up towards Sanchez. United here. Again, lost his footing briefly. And tried to win it back. There's a tussle for it, and the And welcome back to Yakima Marquette Stadium. It's halftime here. 2-0 advantage for the homestanding Yakima United Hoppers. I'd like to thank a few of our partners for today's broadcast, and the Washington State Soccer Association has served adult soccer in Washington for a long time, 90 years to be exact. Whether you're looking for a place to play, a league, or a tournament, WSASA can help. Visit WSASA.org. Today's WSASA Player of the Match will be announced in the postgame show. The Evergreen Premier League is a Washington statewide soccer league featuring top-level players from across Washington. Both the clubs playing today are members of the EPLWA, and you can stay up to date with this season just starting to wrap up and playoffs starting, and visit evergreenpremierleague.com. Today's play of the match is sponsored by the Evergreen Premier League. And the Western Indoor Soccer League is home to Washington's top amateur indoor soccer players and has helped provide a professional pathway for more than 25 local players. Visit wisl-soccer.com. Today's coach interview is presented by the WISL. And last but not least, Lower Valley Cards in Sunnyside is your destination for sports cards, collectibles, and memorabilia. Visit them in 1805 South First Street in Sunnyside, or online at lowervalleycards.com. We're going to go ahead and step away for another break. We'll rejoin you right before the second half kickoff here from Marquette Stadium in Yakima.
Wooly is too.
And welcome back to action here. That was the second half kickoff brought to you by the WISL. We are underway again for the second half between Yakima and the Wenatchee All-Stars. As Yakima again a patient approach. Yakima beat the Surf last year up at Union Stadium in Meade to win another championship. And today they're looking to be just the second team that's won multiple Super Cups. So far, they're in good position to do so, Tim.
I believe so too. But the coaching staff for Wenatchee had 15 minutes to work with the players, see what they can do.
Most dangerous scoreline in soccer is the 2-0.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and talk to that, Jacob. Why is that so lethal of a scoreline?
Well, it feels like you have much more of a gap than you do, and sometimes you can find yourself when you're up by 2, maybe be getting a little lax, thinking you have enough, and you don't realize that one quick goal, suddenly your lead's cut in half. It's gone, and they normally come in pairs, and so it's always a more of a strategy for the coaches on how do I manage my players, how do I keep them, from these little laps in judgment when that could suddenly tie this game up.
And how many times have we seen momentum really play a factor at multi-levels? Played back to the keeper. Of course, both teams will switch, but it's a bit confusing, guys, because both keepers have very similar top kits. Just a hair of a shade different in blue.
Yeah, I noticed that at the lineup and went, I guess that's what we're doing today. Wonder if it's because the referee didn't have another color other than red.
Breakaway.
And here's a chance in all alone into the 18th shot, but not just over. What an opportunity to make it 3-0 as that was Misael Lopez racing down the wing into space.
That's one of those you want the shot back. Put a little too much power on it, trying to chip the keeper, and he's got to be frustrated with that.
He shoots and carried out wide. Crowd again vocal here, and great crowd filing in.
A little shade in the stands, so people are getting a little relief from the weather.
Yeah, nicely engineered here. Of course, there's no roof, as so frequent here in eastern and central Washington, but they built the stadium so along match time that the sun's really at our backs. A very nice environment. Can't say the same for the players, though. They're looking straight in it across the pitch. Another opportunity swung wide.
3 quick chances for Yakima, just trying to get shots on target. They're trying to come out aggressive with this one and not fall into that 2-0 trap there and add another one.
It's going to be a goal kick taken. Of course, you see the old track that goes around the field, the old dirt track. You don't see too many of those at the high school level.
I believe that's probably a Centrex track, the old cinders.
Oh, yes.
Back in the Stone Age when I went to high school, Camas High School down along the Columbia, we didn't have anything like rubberized tracks or any of those things. It really cuts you up if you fall on it.
And there's a foul there. It's quickly taken by Fox. And played back down out over the touchline for a throw. Actually, players starting to shake things out a bit. Shaken up is Orozco. Play it back towards mouth of goal. Wenatchee trying to play that second ball, and they're through. All-Stars trying to rock a shot on as it's deflected. Tight quarters to operate. And a foul is called, a bit too aggressive on the defensive effort from Lopez.
That initial block there really kind of saved that entire play, because one more extra step was all it took for the defender to get back in position. Had it been shot a half second sooner, we could be looking at a 2-1 score here.
And Roscoe will be the man on the ball for the free kick. Subs looking to come on. Looks like they're going to elect to send the man on after this opportunity. Bodies stacked to the far side of the 18. And here we go. Hooking ball, slicing in, and just headed away. Guzman Sanchez roughed up in the process, and we're going to switch sides for the FK. Back and forth.
This one's a little bit further, but just as dangerous.
Ground crews have worked hard for the past week trying to get the pitch ready here, and they ended up having a bunch of 90-degree days that kind of wreaked havoc. But given that, Tim, I think the pitch is in great shape.
Yeah, it's firm, but it's not hard. That's the difference. It's soft enough to play well.
Still loose, rolled in towards goal, and it's across the line.
Well, that's a quick goal there for Wenatchee that arguably you might have said should have been stopped.
A lot of confusion, a lot of bodies. But, yeah, you're right. I would agree.
And it looks like the goal scorer there for Wenatchee in quick fashion is going to be Vir Montez. There with 37 minutes left. In the second half. So, like you said, Jacob, a 2-goal lead, a very dangerous one. And it was a good idea for Wenatchee. They had those 2 set pieces, Tim, and just try to get as much traffic in front as possible. Make it difficult on the standout keeper, Bruetta.
They've finally been able to sustain possession in the Yakima end, and I think that really made the difference.
There's another throw for Wenatchee. We'll see if it's a tale of 2 halves. As right now, Wenatchee is seeming to be in control possession-wise. Yakima trying to change that. Good work by Fox to spin away. United trying to mount a counter. It's swung out wide. Here's Lopez. Crosser comes in, kicked away. Deep shot, and that's wide. Crowd liking that here at Marquette. So Isaiah Rojas tried to kick, Mario Jacobo Rojas, of course, the second goal scorer. Bit of a number musical chairs prior to the match as we're still trying to get all the numbers sorted away dangerously off the head of the defender and right into the midst of the keeper. Wenatchee, a counter. And a foul's called.
A bit of luck on that one. Looks like they weren't going to be able to get that one cleared as far as they thought. Thankfully, keeper was heads up on that one, was able to go up and snag that one, but that was a dangerous clear for Wenatchee, and then all of a sudden they turned it around into a counter and a foul and another set piece.
Roscoe with the FK. Headed back down. Wenatchee again, they're the ones in kind of a calm poise. Methodical approach. See what head coach Joshua Vega has dialed up on the United sideline to contend. A hard challenge foul called. And we'll have our coaches interview after the game, as well as our WSASA player of the match and a trophy presentation. Catch the trophy presentation live on the socials post-match. We'll have a busy crew post-game, as another free kick will be taken this time over the defending side of the pitch for Wenatchee. Good turn. And it's another ball through. Yakima, chance at goal, flicked in. And it's another breakaway finish. And what a finish indeed from Misael Lopez to make it 3-1.
That's exactly what Yakima needed to do to respond. They gave up a goal. The clean sheet's gone. That's fine, but you need to be able to respond. And they found a way, and it comes on a big counter, but they're able to do it. And they have control of this game again.
It was just a sequence that kind of turned disastrous for Wenatchee. And just one touch can do so much damage.
Well, we were talking about momentum switching back and forth, and it definitely felt like the momentum was with Wenatchee coming out at halftime. Will they still have it as Yakima's starting to press more?
Wenatchee will try and swing it wide out of play. And good hands, maybe some goalkeeping ability from Josh Vega on the sideline. All-Stars trying to mount a rebuttal out near the 18, and it's played out for a corner. We've seen it all season long, as and at many levels, guys, is just the opportune time for another goal is right after one from the opposing side. Catch them kind of why their guards down and momentum starting to ride high. Here's Wenatchee. Shot put on off the post. It's loose and played out for another corner.
The goalkeeper's friend.
That's right. It can be a best friend or enemy, just depending on the angle.
Where it's struck, yeah.
It's one of my favorite finishes is off the inside of the post and down. I love the crossbar down as well.
Yeah.
Saw one of those finishes yesterday in the England-Norway match. The back of Jude Bellingham's 2 goals. Roscoe will fire that into the Yakima defense, and a United player is down on the deck.
Hasn't touched the ground yet. There we go.
Had a game of hacky sack mounting. Good defending. And Lopez tries to swing it out right into the boots of a Wenatchee forward. Offensive foul. Looked NBA-like there, as it's going to be a free kick for Yakima. Jacob, they would call that, what, a freehand ward, huh, in your lacrosse world?
A little bit, yeah, or, you know, we can just use the sock one of simulation, but yeah.
Of course, Jacob, double duty. Do you still work as a lacrosse official, Jacob?
I have been. I did not do this year. Still have been unable to get out there. Just been busy working with NORPAC, but I do still plan to get back out there.
Yeah, man of many talents, ladies and gentlemen. Both of my commentating partners, Tim Bush, Jacob Gepner, bring a ton to the table here. Out, played back, and it's going to be another throw. Here's Lopez off the throw. Tim, what kind of exciting things can we expect from the WSASA? Of course, today's game sponsor.
We have activities going on all the time. We have a bunch of tournaments around the state. People that like to play 5v5, the Hammers, the Bellingham United Club have a 5v5 later on this month. There's also a tournament we're sponsoring in Spokane, and all kinds of opportunities going on. We do it year-round, and my understanding is, and I'm not going to take John Crouch's thunder, but the Whistle apparently has picked up some new teams and growing. We have that's one of the few affiliated indoor soccer leagues in the whole country.
Return of Ollie, FC Ollie returning to the Whistle. That's going to be exciting. A very strong historic team finally making a comeback after 2 years away.
That's great. That's great.
We'll have a whistle here. And did you happen to catch the infraction, Tim or Jacob?
I think maybe just potentially went a little too early before the substitution was completed. Did not see anything that would have resulted in anything other than just redoing the throw-in.
Andres Palomino, of course, the referee in the middle today. Back towards the box. Jacobo. Bouncing ball will be settled and knocked ahead. Both teams trying to regain control. Yakima trying to capitalize on another trip into the attacking third. J.O. Lopez. Put in. Man there on the backside, but Wenatchee is able to knock it through. Other than that breakaway goal, Wenatchee stayed very composed, very compact defensively.
Yep, they've made it very hard here for Yakima to find any openings. That's why they're playing all the way back at half field again, trying to cross the pitch, trying to find these openings. And they've done very good jobs about not just compacting the space, but also keeping clean with it, not giving away any dangerous free kicks either.
And the foul's going to be whistled there, as they're going to say Misael Lopez a bit egregious with it, and they'll pull it back as that one was played on right in the middle of a discussion. And Tim is the referee, too. You got to like the way that Andres Palominos is managing the game, because not only is he managing it with fouls and cards, but also doing a great job of talking with the players, that communication role.
He's very calm. He's firm, but that's what the referee does. And, you know, I've not seen any real dust-up between the officials and any of the players. They're concentrating on winning the match. That's good. That's really good.
Here's Yakima again trying to build early in the attacking third. Fox turning it away, and will come up with the block. It's been also cool, Tim, to see kind of the transition from player at this level up to being local referees, too, as well. You've seen several EPLWA players make the switch across the line, if you will, to wear the whistle and jersey, and it's been pretty cool. And it's the EPLWA and Super Cup also develops referees and officials, too, which is great to see.
Absolutely.
Yakima's going to be content with taking their time. It's going to be Diego Lopez, the throw-in specialist. And he'll play it short. Gets the give and go. Low cross in, just over the upright.
Ooh.
Well, he gets the 3 points, but in the wrong football, unfortunately, and just skied a little too high. Went with power. Maybe should have gone with some finesse on that one instead.
Real temptation to lean back on those shots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, got the pitching wedge out. And offsides called.
Well, that one was definitely tight, but I think it's the right call that he was offsides.
Yeah, they tried to lead Isaiah Rojas, who's hungry for a second. Of course, if it was Gaelic football, it would have been a score through the uprights. But nonetheless, we'll stay at 3-1. Sport of all three of our homelands, huh?
Yep.
Very much so.
Of course, Gaelic football, and then hurling. You've started to see more and more hurling opportunities. As well, Butte, Montana during St. Patrick's Day, which should be a federal holiday, I guess, in Montana. Everyone shows up anyways and bails on work, but they've put together really brilliant hurling matches. That's always fun to see. And it's still played on the same goals as on a soccer pitch, and it's a little bit bigger of a ground. Kind of a rough sport, and whenever you give people long wooden paddles that look like spoons, accidents bound to happen.
They just added that to the Olympics as well.
Oh, nice.
Put back up. Headed near post, and Pruetta, sure-handed save.
Well, you can see why he plays pro with the Tacoma Stars. He's got a sure set of hands, and that helps out a little more in the indoor game, but it's very crucial here in the outdoor game.
Yeah, 28. He's the oldest player on the roster today, which hard to believe. And a good attempt near post, sent over. And another substitution for Yakima. 4 other players up off the bench getting warm.
Yakima definitely have the deeper bench compared to Wenatchee, and they're taking advantage of that, especially with this heat here today.
Yakima building their roster across 10 different collegiate programs. As close as Columbia Basin in Pasco and Walla Walla, and as far away as St. Martin's and Seattle Pacific. Also Gonzaga represented. And some collegiate talent as well from the All-Stars with Wenatchee Valley College.
A few more of those substitutions coming on for, looks like, both sides here.
With just about 21 minutes to play in the match. Good touch, wisely done. Always such a risk when you try to turn back in towards the middle. 50-50 ball right to the keeper. And on that one, you saw Wenatchee a bit urgent and playing a rolling through ball.
Yeah, that one could have been dangerous. It didn't have quite the speed they expected, but the defender came back with plenty of time, was able to get possession and the pass off before the press met him.
Yakima now again on the far side. Contention. Contested turn, and it's going to be a Yakima throw.
A lot of throw here's today, Tim, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, a lot of balls going off, but it's smart defense by both teams.
And we're going to have another hydration break. And as we do, I'd like to tell you about one of our sponsors, WSASA. And they've been providing high-level adult soccer in Washington. And if you're looking for a place to play, a league, or a tournament, check them out at WSASA.org. Also, the Evergreen Premier League is Washington's statewide soccer league featuring top-level talent. Visit them at evergreenpremierleague.com. And the Western Indoor Soccer League is home to Washington's top amateur indoor soccer players. Learn more at wisl-soccer.com. They're also today's sponsor of the post-game coach interview with the game-winning coach. And Lower Valley Cards in Sunnyside is your destination for sports cards and collectibles and memorabilia. Visit them at 1805 South First Street in Sunnyside or online at lowervalleycards.com. We're going to take a quick break. We'll see you right at the other end of this hydration stoppage here on the NORPAC Sports Network. Welcome back. The hydration break has concluded, and we are back to action with 18 minutes to play plus stoppage time if necessary. Another sub on the midline ready to come in for Yakima. Another physical piece of defending is going to draw the whistle. It's going to be a free kick just on the side of their bench there for Wenatchee. They'll play it close. And knocked out of play over the touchline for a throw.
And another substitution coming from Yakima. Tim, we were talking about that hydration break that you think the bench is taking the effect it now into this game?
I believe so, yeah. And Yakima had substituted several of their starters in the first half because I imagine a smart coach is going to want to save someone if the game gets tight. So,
for perspective, that would be the bench of Wenatchee, and over on the other side is the bench for Yakima. Significantly more players there. So
yeah.
And out for a throw. You're seeing Wenatchee trying to preserve every minute of time here, trying to rush and get the ball ready to throw in. Yakima not as eager to put it in play. Just part of the tactics that play in here as we approach 15 minutes to play in the Super Cup final. Yakima looking to be just the second team that won multiple championships and joining Washington Premier FC. Good, promising ball, just couldn't quite get enough on it from Jose Abel Pernia.
yeah, it looked like he almost didn't want to shoot that one, but had no other option and went for it, and it went directly to the keeper, who made a routine save there.
Yeah, you would like to see maybe a little bit more confidence. Wenatchee will try and look for another attacking opportunity.
And that might be it with a corner.
More subs staging to get ready for Yakima. They'll come in after the set piece. Can Wenatchee wreak enough havoc in front of the goal? That's how they got their first. Put in, far post. It got through and knocked away. Yakima pleading for a foul. And it's out for a corner on the other side.
Well, there was definitely the confusion there towards the front, but no player could really get on the end of that one. Just a little too far. And thankfully for them, it goes for another goal kick. Oh, another chance at the goal, rather, sorry.
Another set piece. Dangerous again, just skipping along mouth of goal. Sure-handed keeper for Yakima comes up with the rock. Hard challenge. That will draw a no-doubter of a whistle. And subs will be beckoned on.
An additional 2 more subs coming in for Yakima here. Seems like everyone's getting some playing time today.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of action from the Wenatchee bench. Of course, they're a bit short bench today. Here's a Roscoe. He's one of the original members of the Stars. And here we go on the hooking set piece. Back towards the byline and ran out of real estate.
Yeah, got on the end of it, but didn't have enough room to really challenge the keeper with that one. Easy goal kick here for Yakima.
Right now, Yakima not trying to put a quick pace on getting the ball back in. The clock is their friend here, just trying to drain off any seconds that they can. They'll stand on the ball and play it wide. Bit of a congested look out over the touchline for a throw. Nicely done into space. Here comes the Hoppers. And offsides. That was one of those bang-bang offsides calls, Tim.
Yeah, and I think it's true. The way Wenatchee gets further back into the game is they've got to try to possess the ball, but they're leaving people open in the back. So, difficult to do.
Flicked on. Into the area. Shot couldn't quite get through. And back over. Ball rolls all the way back. I don't know, Tim, are we close to a Super Cup attendance record here? Looks like a great crowd on hand.
Yeah, I think so.
Been really great to see. We have the noisemakers, the umbrellas. It's been a festive atmosphere.
And one of the best soccer communities you can get in the state of Washington, without a doubt.
Great grassroots.
People love the game and support it.
Yeah, when the Yakima Reds were here in the USD League, they saw good crowds before finally leaving. They played all the way back in 1995 here at these very grounds.
Yeah.
They ended up leaving in 2010, which there's a 4-year gap, and then that's when we saw the Yakima United Hoppers, one of the charter members.
Yep. What, 1994? Yeah.
Great to see it develop here. And, of course, yes, Central Washington, Eastern Washington soccer at every level so well embraced, from Sunday League all the way up to collegiate and pre-professional. Played out. Here's United again. Compact play offensively. Back towards the box. And nice shield by Fox for a goal kick. 10 minutes to play in the 2026 James D. Hamilton Super Cup, brought to you by WSASA. And we're just 10 minutes from crowning our champ. Yakima is going to be try and work to be the second team ever to win multiples, but Wenatchee would love to play spoiler.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for a surprise or two.
Yeah, right now it does kind of seem like momentum's up for grabs for both teams. Right there in the center circle. Wenatchee, they find themselves through. Pernia plays it back to the top of the 18. Orozco. And they'll switch back to Centro. Guzman Sanchez. Wenatchee trying to get the most out of this opportunity in the attacking third. Orozco. Good ball in and just headed away. Nicely done defensively. Juan Carlos Diaz making another stellar defensive stand.
That's one of the best sequence for Wenatchee the whole game. Unfortunately, they didn't get a goal, but they played the ball really well.
Yeah, they put some pressure on Yakima there and causing Diaz to try and make a play. We'll see a substitution for Wenatchee. And it looks like they're bringing off Adirondack. And entering the match is Diego Saldivar. Up to the keeper. And they'll try and counter with a wide attack here. Sanchez. Armband matches the boots here. Easy to spot at mid-pitch. Wenatchee, again, a good sequence offensively. They have the possession time. Will we see another good chance on goal? They'll switch. Back to the top of the 18. It will curl out.
They've managed to keep possession while they've been having these multiple different chances, and that's one reason they're able to keep adding this pressure here, and they'll get the throw in.
And correction here, Adirondack is staying in the match. It looks like he was the one subbed out for, but it's the man with the ball there for the throw. 7 minutes to play. Just looking off to our right here, beautiful mountains. And you can actually see the L for LaSalle High School way over there towards Union Gap. Of course, we're playing on their home field during the high school school year for the LaSalle Lightning. And a foul is called. There's Sanchez on the ball, and the referee with an explanation. And it's going to be another set piece. Gotta love the gamesmanship too. Slowly rolling, it's like red light, green light. Slowly rolling the ball up behind the referee.
I'm complying. I'm giving the ball back.
all the tactics and tricks. So many of these players have played at some pretty high levels here. Of course, Diego Saldivar, a previous pro experience in El Salvador. Pierre Vega, college experience at Wenatchee Valley College. And it doesn't get through the wall. Of course.
Yeah, it's a good defensive placement there, and a little bit of a courageous chance for that one, but good defensive stand from Yakima.
More subs coming on this time. Wenatchee's bench and technical area a lot more active, Tim, here late in the match.
Yep.
You might as well shake it up, too.
Wenatchee's been doing a lot of running, so you want to put somebody who's a little bit fresher in if you have them.
Who will be the spark plug for either side? Player goes to ground. Action will continue and knocked out of play. Perny pleading for a call there. Sliding challenge, and the card's coming out.
Okay, now I can say it. I was going to say earlier on we had not had a caution in this match. Now we have.
Yep.
And that was more than justified. Don't think he really meant to do it, but he did it.
Looks like it's going to go against Isaiah Rojas, the goal scorer back in the first half.
A little too deep of a chance here, but they proved me wrong and immediately put that one in towards the box and
bouncing away, and another good Wenatchee opportunity. And another foul. Back towards the net. Good pressure. Open net, just cleared away. Gotta love the resiliency.
My goodness, what the goalkeeper way off his line, battling in the corner. USA fans having a flashback there.
Yep.
But just great defending there. And it keeps this one out of the net for now.
Yakima again, they'll swing it wide. He shoots and scores! And it's a fourth for Yakima, scored off the foot of Daniel Farias. And it's 4-1 now.
Well, that might just wrap that one up there.
Yeah. You credit Wenatchee for trying to go forward and trying to win the match, but
Never gave up at all, that is for sure.
And it looks like we're just approaching referee's time here. And Fox will leave the pitch. Back over to Sanchez. Wenatchee now playing for pride as they trail now by 3. We're inside 2 minutes to play. Slicing and dicing and a foul called. A yellow is going to come out, the first of the match for Wenatchee. And it's going to be a free kick in dangerous position.
I thought that almost was in the box. It's a good challenge late out of desperation. Still very much a caution and chance to add another on the scorecard.
And it's going to be a set piece opportunity. Here's Tim Bush. Will head down to pitch side to award today's James D. Hamilton Super Cup trophy. That's into the wall. The follow-up high and wide.
Well, Yakima just trying to keep this one middle of the field, keep it out of a Wenatchee player possession and keep it off of the attacking play and wrap up the last few minutes that they have.
Going to roll it back to Orozco. Fans, stay tuned for our EPLWA Play of the Match and our WSASA Player of the Match coming up. We've had a fierce debate here in the box to decide who the victors will be as it's going to roll out for a goal kick. And we'll also go down to talk to the head coach of the winning team, and that's presented by the Western Indoor Soccer League. It looks like maybe up to 4 minutes. The fourth official coming over. Of course, today's fourth official is Alex Coppy. Swung wide. And a body over the byline. And they're going to say, get the ball on the near side, as he was well content to go over to the jumper's pit to get that one over near the high jump mat. And it looks like we're going to have a yellow card for time wasting. Far post. Still loose. Wenatchee here trying to fight another counter. Playing for pride at this point, and they're through. It's a 2-on-1 advantage. Shot, and just over.
Great attempt from the number 16, the Wenatchee. Just a little bit wide. Unfortunate, but the counter worked out very well for them. They caught Yakima with too many people forward and not enough defenders.
There's Diego Saldivar with a good step through. Bench very vocal on both sides.
It looks like they're awarding a corner. So not a goal kick. They're saying there was a touch by a Yakima player. It's a corner kick.
Put in. Still loose. Kept at the top of the box. Fans imploring the Yakima United for one more. Kicked in towards Rojas, and a great confident save made by the keeper to snag it.
Well, it's definitely been the game we were promised. It's been a little bit chippy. It's been a tight quarters game. Both teams changing strategies, and one coming out more favorable with the counterattack than another. Yakima setting up for one more free kick here.
Have to see how much longer is left. This could be the last play. Near post, nearly knocked through. What another attempt. It was Corbin Herrera swooping in, trying to finish the ball.
Just a little too far across net, little bit of a bounce there, and it was too much to get an extra goal, but that's the final whistle for you.
And that will do it. It's 4-1 here. And let's now turn to today's post-game awards. It's the EPLWA Play of the Match, and I think we got to give it to Misael Lopez as a breakaway goal, Jacob, happening, and that really set it up for the third score of the day.
I would have to agree on that one there. That breakaway for the third goal right after Wenatchee get their first, it really said, we're not going to let you have the momentum. This is still our game, and that really changed the tone there.
And the WSASA Player of the Match is Isaiah Rojas for his goal and constant presence on the attacking end. was a threat several times on net. So congratulations to Rojas, the WSASA player of the match, and our EPLWA play of the match, brought to you by the Evergreen Premier League, and congratulations to Misael Lopez. For Merrick Parnell, for Jacob Gepner, Tim Bush, I'm Merrick Parnell saying good night from beautiful Yakima. Thanks so much for being with us.